this is soloing techniques is what I'm calling it. It's a CVT guitar lesson for Lee. And Lee, thanks for letting me come up with these concepts because basically, I mean, we've got pentatonic scales, tapping, arpeggios, just different elements that you're going to want to apply into your soloing. And also, you know, all 5 of those pentatonic minor scales that so many players play through, but you'd be surprised how many people don't know all the patterns. And when you do, you can do stuff like I just did. What I did in pattern 1, I applied the concept or the idea to pattern 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm in standard tuning. We're just going to quickly run through the scales, okay? Pattern 1 in A minor is this, starting on 5th fret on the low E. Okay, pattern 2 is this. Pattern 3, keep in mind these are all in A minor. Pattern 4. In pattern 5. Now I'm playing textbook fingering. Sometimes I do that stuff. But if I was soloing, that fingering is going to get thrown out the window probably, because I'm probably not using the whole scale and I'm going to use what's more efficient and what makes sense. So now what I did was got kind of a long pattern in pattern 1 A minor. Okay, all of these, once again, keep in your head, are A minor so far. 5G, we're going to pick, hammer to 7. Same thing on the B, but hammer to 8. On the E, 5, hammer 8, pull 5. So that gives you. Then we're going to go 8B, 5E, down up. Then 8, pull 5B, 7G, 5, hammer 8B, vibrato. So slowly it's. I'm going to take that exact riff and apply it to all 4 of the other patterns in A minor, starting with pattern 2 now. 7G, hammer 9, 8B, hammer 10, 8E, hammer pull, right? 10, 8BE, 10B, pull 8, 9G, 8B, hammer 10, vibrato. Here it is slow. So anyways, if you're playing something in A minor, you can start getting comfortable in these other patterns like so many of us do with pattern 1. That's the beauty of it. Okay, page 3. Same exact idea using pattern 3. 9, 12. So we know there's a lot of hammers and pulls. 10, 13, 10, 12, 10, 13, 10, 13, 10, 12G, 10B, hammer 13. Here it is slow. Alright, little things too to keep your playing clean. When you're playing a lead riff here, try to mute the above string and below string that you're actually targeting. So when I start, I'm actually touching the D and the B with the angle of my index, and the high E, believe it or not. But I'm not worried about the high E. I'm worried about the below string or the above. Moving on, pattern 4. This is probably the more difficult of the bunch. But at the end of the day, man, they're just notes, right? 12, 14 G, 13, 15 B, 12, 15 E. They're all different frettings. So 15, 12 B, E, 15 pull 13 B, 14 G, 13 B, hammer 15. Okay, and then the last one. pattern 5. And ironically, man, I don't hear people talk about this, but this is the easiest of all the pentatonic scales, pattern 5. I mean, if you think about it, because you're just going like 4/6 of the strings are 15/17s, the 2 middles are 14/17s. But check it out. So knowing that, it could help you in memorizing the riff too, starting on 14G. Right there. So I know everything I deal with after the hammer on here is all going to be this dot or this dot. So you can focus on what this hand is doing, making sure you're doing the right pick direction, and make sure you follow that. I wrote the pick direction in the tabs. Once again, all in A minor. So pretty cool, man. Alright, then there's also what's called a 6-note minor pentatonic. It's got what's called a flat 5 in it. And I love this one. This one most people prefer. It's the same as pattern 1 A minor pentatonic, but we have an added note, and it's a D sharp / E flat right here. The rest you know. But once again, there's our E flat. So if you add this to what you already know, it opens up the doors. Anyways, wanted to throw that in there because that's important, because I don't want to be playing a riff and like, dude, you know, that's not supposed to be in there. And all the patterns have that. We can turn them into 6-note ones. Alright, 2 riffs from the above scale. Okay, the 6-note pentatonic. One of them is this. Kind of an Eddie Van Halen sounding thing. Rest in peace. 7G bend. I'm going to use 3rd finger and 2nd. My index, I have it where the string will drop, so we don't get that. 5th fret B and E. I'm going to upstroke that. Do follow the picking in these. 8 pull 5 B. So far there's already a couple riffs in there. We have the old Chuck Berry thing and riffs within riffs. 8/5 GB. That's where we utilize that E flat. That note. 8 pull 7/5 on the G. So we have 7 D G D. I'm going to use my 3rd finger as a pivot. So okay. 5G, put a little half step bend. 7D vibrato. Number 2, using what I call, well, what's called double stops. 5th fret G and B. I'm going to hammer 7 on the G and then do the 5GB. Make sure that you don't do what I just did there and mute the B string out. We want 7D, so it's same thing on the D and G and A string. So we have very Hendrix, right? And then 5th fret A and D, hammer 6A, pull 5, 8/5 on the E, vibrato. So it's Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know, Hendrix. Okay, so that gives you an idea of the cool scale with some cool riffs to go with it. Top of page 4, arpeggios and sweeps. Okay, I've got some different ideas. I tried to make it more melodic for you. This one's a 4-chord melody using B minor. It's gonna go 14A, hammer 17. Definitely follow the picking and fingering for these. 16 D and G. They're all downstrokes so far. And then 15 B. Those are minor shape. 14 high E. Upstroke now. 19 E, pull 14. And then the rest of these are ups. 15, you just play it descending. 15, 16, reverse that shift, and 17A. So we have okay, and that's a B minor. From there we're going to an A, so it's an A major, 12A hammer 16, 14 on the D, G, and B, use it as a shift, in increments, don't just go to 12E, and then we're going to go 17E, upstroke, pull 12, play it descending. So we have, oops. Then when we go to a G, which is the same as the A, but a whole step flat starting on fret 10. So we went from and we end it with an F sharp major, which is going to go 9A. It's the same one, just back a half step, my bad. But I think I changed some. No, I didn't. We're going to go. So 1 is a minor. That's our. And 3 are majors. Right? So we have. You can play those and let them ring and you play over them. Okay, a lot of fun. The speed comes with time on these lead, don't sweat it. The beauty with this stuff is it sounds nice, you know, even slow. So, just make sure your technique's right and you're doing all those things, and they should come together with practice. They're not easy though, I will say that. Once you get one, they tend to come together. Alright, then next I put another 4-chord melody sweep, but it's only using 3 strings. E minor, C major, D major, and B major. And this one is going to start on fret 19 on the high E. I'm going to pull off to 15. And then I'm going to go 17B to 16G. I want you to see the minor shape in there. And then I'm going to go back to 17B to 19E. From the 19E, I'm sliding over to 15, pulling to 12, going 13B, 12G, 13B, 15E. So it's from there, slide it up a whole step to 17, pull 14, 15B, 14G, 15B, 17E. So we have and then from there, slide it to 14, pull 11, 12B, and then the top of page 5, 11G, 12B, 11E to finish it. So it's anyways, play with them. They're a lot of fun. Once again, slow, they still sound great. So moving on from the sweeps, now we got an E minor scale and riff. And it's a 5-string. Real common one for rock metal. 7, 9, 10 on the A, 7, 9, 10 D, 7, 9 G, 7, 8, 10 on the last two. That gives you. You could throw the 12 in there if you want to resolve it, but it won't be in the riffs. But so that's our E minor scale, and some riffs through it. Is going to be number 2 here, 987 GBE. I want you to think of it almost like sweep picking. I call it a rake.